Hey, what's happening, guys? Pragmatic Addict here. You guys ever just see a movie that is so bad that it just puts you in a shitty ass mood? Hey guys, I'm psyched. What's happening, everybody? Pragmatic Addict here. So I just got done watching a very anticipated film of mine called Dashcam. So Dashcam is a found footage horror film. It is the second film from director Rob Savage, who not only made another found footage horror film that was good, but it's one of the best reviewed horror films of all time. So this is his second film, and much like his predecessor Host, this is a found footage horror film set during the pandemic. It is very similar to Host in many ways, not only the pandemic and the found footage horror sense of a movie, but it is also another very short film of him. Host was I think the shortest feature-length film that I had ever seen, capping out at only 57 minutes. This one is roughly over 70. So yeah, this wasn't a very long movie to get through, but oh boy. So Host, like I said earlier, it is one of the best reviewed horror films out there. Now, Dashcam is a little bit different of a story. So Dashcam centers on a character named Annie. She is a musician, and she is traveling from LA to London with her ex-bandmate's car that she stole. And while she is traveling to London, the lockdown, the pandemic, quarantine is currently going on. And, oh boy, this film had every potential to be a good movie. Not only because it is a follow-up to such a big success like Host, but because this is just a very good premise. So I never saw the full-length trailer of this film. I didn't even know that there was one until I just looked it up before this review. But I did see the teaser for this film, which, in my opinion, was very well done. It is very subtle, it is very ominous and mysterious, and it doesn't give anything away. It is just creepy, and it does that well. Just from this one little bit of a teaser, I was really hooked on this movie. I was really excited about it.
Over, please, again.
Fine, I'll go. Angela? Angela? Angela?
But in saying that, yeah, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't even really know the plot. And yeah, so this is about a character who is traveling from LA to London during the pandemic, who is a musician, and she stole her ex-bandmate's car. So as she is traveling to London, again, this does take place during the lockdown, this character, I found her highly unlikable. This is probably one of the least liked characters I have ever seen in a movie. So this main character, Annie, yeah, she's, so as she's driving to London, she is actually doing a live stream of the whole ride. Kind of like how this film is kind of displayed how the movie Spree was displayed, in the sense of people are reacting to everything that goes on. So really quickly, let's not get sidetracked. Yeah, a very unlikable character. So I don't know if this character was supposed to be fleshed out as a fucking Karen, or maybe just because of the pandemic and quarantine, maybe she just kind of went off her rocker a little bit. But regardless, so this character, she plays an anti-masker. She has a hat that says "Make America Great Again." Uh-oh. And as we're waiting for this movie to get started and getting a little bit, comfortable and familiar with this character, yeah, so they call her a musician, even though the whole entire movie, she's just dropping freestyle raps that are really disgusting and cringy and trying to come off raunchy and out there, but they're just failing and are very uncomfortable and are not funny or entertaining. And that is not just while waiting for the movie to start. This is an ongoing thing throughout the entire film. And this character, as she drives to London, she makes stops at a lot of different businesses and just kind of causes a bunch of nonsense. We see montages of her, getting kicked out of places because she won't wear a mask. We see her stealing and kind of wreaking havoc in places that are kind of abandoned because of the pandemic. And where this movie actually starts to get going, where its centerpiece is, we see Annie caught in the middle of two women, one who is extremely sick and another who says, "Hey, I need you to deliver her somewhere because she's sick. I'm gonna give you money." So we see Annie just get thrown into this thing, and I mean abruptly. There is no build-up, there is no setup. We have no idea. We don't even see her walk in this goddamn building. It's just the next scene, because again, we are seeing her go from business to business, just making stops just for the fun of it for her viewers. And yes, this one stop that she goes to, she is tasked with the job of delivering a sick elderly woman named Angela. And basically, after she picks up this woman Angela, the woman's behavior is very concerning. She has a lot of alarming symptoms that she could be a lot sicker than, just COVID or something. And unexplainable, really bad things start happening. So really quickly, this had every right to be a good movie. This, even the premise, again, it really works. It's, this woman who gets tasked with, delivering this old, sick, elderly stranger during the pandemic somewhere, and then we start having suspicions that maybe this woman is someone or something that is not entirely all that good. So, yeah, this had every right to be a good movie, and so this is more of a gross-out, cringe horror comedy more than anything, and while it is described as more of a horror film, and while there is, yes, good horror in this film, I will say that really quickly. I'll stop shitting on the movie for just a moment. Because on the horror side, this does do a lot of unpredictable things. Whether that works or not, you never really know which direction this film is actually going to go in as far as horror stuff. And, not only is that a good thing, but especially with found footage horror. So, I watched recently a documentary on Shudder, which I also did a review on, called The Found Footage Horror Phenomenon. And one thing that they touch upon in that documentary that I really enjoyed and really admired is that they say, in order to make a found footage horror film work and successful, there's always got to be a reason to have the camera on. There's always got to be a reason to be recording. And for the most part, this movie, I think, does pretty well with, it doesn't really do too much necessarily bad in that degree, but the biggest issue, which there are a lot of issues with this film, the biggest one I will say is that the horror side of it doesn't really feel like it's at its centerpiece. It feels like it's more of a filler type of thing more than anything. Again, even after Annie picks up this woman, Angela, she's doing these things like she's asking her all kinds of weird questions when the woman can't even speak. She's basically doing all these cringy ass things for her viewer in order to be entertaining, but it's just not working. Not to me anyway. She's rapping, of course. She's making dick and, vagina and fart jokes throughout the entire movie. And even when things get really tense and really suspenseful, like maybe they're hiding out somewhere or, something is really building in some degree that could really, make for a good plot point in a story for this kind of a thing. She's like making like jokes and like still doing the rapping freestyle bullshit. It almost comes off as it's like this woman's coping mechanism kind of thing. And again, this woman is a musician, and as we saw in the beginning, she has a lot of really immature, really kind of unhinged antics. But I get that that's where they were going with this woman's character, but it didn't work. What it comes down to is that this had every right to be a good movie, story-wise and promotion-wise, but everything surrounding it was a just total flop. I feel like how good of an example Host was, as far as like making a successful found footage horror goes, this film did the complete opposite with. They experiment with a lot in this film, but not only does that sadly not work, but a lot of it just feels completely unnecessary as well. And yeah, this woman, this being who we're, really engaged by, who is kind of supposed to be the centerpiece of the horror side, at least, of things, she never really feels like an actual crucial character, more than just like this thing on the side that keeps reoccurring as this character, Annie, is just trying to drive to London, continuing to entertain her viewers with her really shitty jokes and cringy ass freestyling. And yes, I'm not gonna leave this part out. Yes, the audience, the viewers, yeah, so again, the whole time they're like watching this film, happen, and yeah, you kind of get what the character Annie gives you as far as how you get what they're going for, but how much it doesn't work. You kind of get that from the viewers, they're commenting with these like bizarre jokes and weird comments and reactions that would not fucking happen. And the whole time, like, as these horrible things are happening, these crazy, strange occurrences, you're able to see, like, the emoji reactions and everything. So, at the end of the day, I think for the most part, what Rob Savage was going for. I was actually really shocked when I heard that this was kind of being labeled as, like, a horror comedy. But the only thing that really worked in this movie was the horror. In saying that, the horror is not, sorry guys, it's not the biggest piece of this movie. It really does feel more like filler than anything. Alright guys, yeah, let's wrap this up. So, I'm gonna give Dashcam a 0.3 out of 10. Whoa! See, there's one thing when you review films that are so bad, and I don't mean Firestarter bad. I mean, yes, that film was a bad movie, and I had a blast reviewing that. But when you review a film that you absolutely hate, it really can be a really weird thing to review, guys. Like, I'm telling you, this was a doozy. Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like as far as the horror side went, not only just in horror, but even in the found footage aspect, I feel like it did pretty good. I feel like it could have been a really good movie. But everything else surrounding it, I just can't fathom it. I don't know why they took this route. I don't know how they, saw it afterward and decided, yeah, we're going with this. This is okay. This works. It just lost me. And again, for a movie that was roughly over 70 minutes, This one was kind of hellish to get through. I'm not gonna lie. Like, especially getting to when the film actually starts, and the horror things are starting. Like, it took every bit of me to not tap out within that opening act. So, what it comes down to is, this film, I hated it. This is definitely going to be one of the worst films I've seen this year. I don't know if it is the worst, but it's pretty fucking close. So yes, guys, that is going to do it for my Dashcam review. I didn't even know that this movie came out right now. I could have sworn that this movie came out on June 3rd. I saw Spooky Astronaut's review of it, and I was like, oh shit, it's out! Whoa! So, yeah, thank you, Spooky Astronauts. Really appreciate you. But yes, guys, that is going to do it for this review. Tonight, though, I will be seeing the new Adam Sandler movie, Hustle, in the theater. So, Hustle, yes, it is the new Adam Sandler movie. It is actually a Netflix film that is going to be released on Netflix on June 9th. And I have the opportunity that I'm grateful for that I am actually going to be able to see this in a theater tonight. So look forward to that review. I feel pretty good about going into Hustle. So hopefully that one will, be able to, take the filth off of this one. But let me know what you guys thought about the video down below. Let me know if you guys did see Dashcam and what you thought of it. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I will see you guys in the next video, and hopefully you enjoyed this. Take care, guys. Have a safe day, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.